This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahoo! Welcome, America. It's just so great to be back behind the famous Golden Hammer microphone, taking your calls, answering some emails, and talking to some of the great inventors out there, all these companies, the process to get your product to market. This is a special edition of Home Talk USA radio program. A lot of you are tuning in right now saying, I thought this was Home Talk. What it is. It was just doing the Invent America part of our show. It's part of the family, trying to get the technology before basically 4, 5, 6, possibly 10 years before the product even comes to the market, and kind of educate you on the product that's going to be coming up the pike. So, hey, look. I told you a long time ago that this show is way ahead of itself. We're going to bring the technology to you. Well, I would definitely want to thank my co-host that pitched in for me last week. She did a great job, the inventor lady herself. I'd like to welcome my co-host, my sidekick, the inventor lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. Hey, Rita, how you doing?
I am fine, and it's so nice to have you back.
Well, I'm just proud of you, because, hey, I thought maybe Monday morning when I was going to get in, my show was going to be off the air, but it's still here. It's still here. No, Rita, you did a great job. I want to thank you for pitching in last week due to the death I had in my family. So, all right. But you got a great show lined up for us this hour, right?
We do. And, our second guest is really special, so I'm looking forward to introducing him. And the important thing that we're talking about today is that there are different types of intellectual property. We've been talking about patents, and so it's important for our listeners to realize that trademarks and copyrights are out there as well. And these three things, the patents, the trademarks, and the copyrights, are not interchangeable. They each have their own unique applications.
And that's what you're trying to do, is trying to break it down and explain the process, right?
Exactly. I get inventors that say, well, I've got a patent, I'm going to write it up, and I'll just file a copyright on it. No, you can't do that. It wouldn't protect you. And it's like, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and trademark this thing I created. No, that's a copyright, and you need to file the copyright. So Today, we are going to explain what each one is and when you use it, because, like I said, they are not interchangeable. They've got very unique qualities to each one.
Yep. And all this starts from a simple idea, putting it down on a piece of paper, and boy, once you get down on a piece of paper, that's where the fun begins, huh, Rita?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, my goodness. I was on your show so many times before we did Invent America, and, in listening to your broadcast, almost every single one of your guests over the years, 24 years, was an inventor at some point.
That's right.
And then they've grown up. And so Invent America helps these newbies get to the point where they would be regular guests on your Home Talk show.
Man, some of the horror stories they used to tell me was amazing, just totally amazing. And to be honest with you, they probably could have saved 75% of their money, to be honest with you.
I know. I had a lady, she'd heard us on the show and called me up and she said, okay, this is where I'm at. I need to fix this. And so we put her in touch with the right people, and it's, answering questions. We're going to do a show coming up in the next few weeks about crowdfunding, and we've got I'm hoping that a lady is ready, and so we're going to pitch her campaign on the show.
Well, if you have a product out there, you're thinking about a product, or you have an idea, this is the hour to listen to. And I tell you, this is the hour. There's not a show out there that's putting this type of information out to all the inventors out there.
There isn't. You can go and you can pay a ton of money to attend a class. You can pay a ton of money for a book. I had folks, multiple times in the last month send me an email. It's like, if I'd had the Inventor's Galaxy Guide that you give away for free 5 years ago, I would have saved thousands of dollars, and we give it away free. I told a school teacher, download it, give it to all the students. It's free, and it's easy read, and there's jokes in it, and more. So this show is dedicated to all of those inventors out there, any age, that think they've got an idea. Well, what do I do?
Yeah, I know.
And we're there to let them know.
I know we have a great show. You got some great guests, but I'm looking forward to hearing from Jonathan David, that patent attorneys, because I always like what they got to say, because every time they come on the show, it's like it's a different type of, patent or process.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to say is each product is different. That's the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every patent should be a unique work of art. It's like a Monet.
Yeah.
And, it stands on its own. There's not a way to fill in the blank, and there's not some template. Yeah. It's a unique work of art, and that's what allows it to protect your idea, your invention, and that's what stands up in court.
Yep. That's
if I can go through and if I can circle the words that were inserted to the blank, a judge can, and then they're going to throw you out.
Yep. Also, too, is, we talked about in the past that it's not necessary, coming up with a new idea, which is great, but actually it's, you can improve an old idea. People don't realize that.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
Exactly. They say, well, I'm not really an inventor. Yes, you are. You've got a new gadget. You've got an improved way of doing something. Yeah. And we had a lady, she did really, really well. She patented the process of putting a loaf of bread into the oven. But there were some very unique twists to that produced a better product. And her patent issued, and she went to market.
Well, I remember 20 years ago when we did the ergonomic part of tools, and person that patented the ergonomic of a shovel. Now, a shovel has been patented well over 100 years ago. But the point is, a guy came up with a different way to do a shovel, to relieve back pain or to, that's the point I'm trying to make. He took a shovel and changed it, and got a patent for it.
Last week we had on the gentleman that had a new handle for a paintbrush that was all ergonomic.
Yeah.
So anybody that had arthritis, this was the paintbrush for them, and he has been selling them like crazy.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, Rita, there's the music. You know the old saying. What we have to do right now, Rita?
We got to pay some bills.
I like that. We got to pay some bills. Yeah, check out our website at HomeTalkUSA.com. Everything you need with the show sitting there. By helping to patronize all our great sponsors, basically keeps our show on the air. Right, Rita? Since none of our guests are charged to be on this radio program. You're listening to our edition, the Invent America part of the Home Talk USA radio family. And we're going to have another guest, another topic, as we just, bottom line, we just give you that path, a guideline, a blueprint, that if you listen to the expert, listen to these vendors, listen to the problems they have, because I guarantee you, you won't make the same mistake twice. And we definitely want to thank them, for sharing this knowledge with us. So we're going to take a short break. On behalf of the Inventor Lady and myself, we'll be right back. Yay!
Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com, one of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back. That's right. This is the Invent America show, part of the Home Talk USA radio family. And Rita, I tell you, man, I'm excited about this, all these next guests, because we're kind of throwing a little wrench in there a little bit. So, hey, why don't you introduce our next guests, and let's get the show on the road.
It sounds good. Thank you so much, Michael. I want to introduce John Hoback. John is from Alaska, and John has been working on a product for several years. It's called the Rizer. And rather than giving a bunch of your background, John, I just want to say my mother, who is 87, used the Rizer a week ago, and she called me telling me she could not have done the job without it. She was taking down a fence. So with that introduction, John, tell us what the Rizer is.
Well, the Rizer, thank you very much, Rita, by the way, is a multi-purpose award-winning tool that basically it attaches to the head of a hammer and makes it twice as easy to pull nails, especially difficult, longer nails. And it also has many other uses as well. It can be used as a focal point, as a pry bar. It can be used, the magnets on it, to help find lost, drop screws, or the magnets also help you distinguish between whether you're using a stainless steel screw or a steel screw, which a lot of people, that's pretty important if you're working, especially on marine life. And it adheres to a toolbox on the outside. Magnets just stick to the outside of the toolbox, or they stick to your fridge, and it also has a handy bottle opener on it, so it makes it pretty handy in the kitchen as well.
It's a great product. It really is. I've got one. I love using mine. Like I said, everybody that uses one just, loves it and recommends it to everybody else. How did you come up with the name Rizer, Hammer's Helper? And so tell us kind of about that process and what you did with it.
Well, I also want to say that it can be seen for your listeners on YouTube. There's a ton of YouTube videos on how to use it. But it seems like as we were coming up with names, and we must have gone through thousands of names, and mulled them over and re-looked at them, and as we made the list, the Rizer just seemed to stand out. And it was a little catchy, and we kind of liked it, so we just figured maybe we would go with that name, and went ahead and stayed with it. But go ahead.
I was just going to say, Apple spent a ton of money teaching everyone that an apple is something that you play with instead of something that you eat. And most of our inventors don't have their budget. So you've got to teach people the name. And so Rizer, how did you coach people? How did you sell the name when nobody would Google Rizer? Mostly
the YouTube videos helped a great deal. And the website, we have a nice website that we built, and it is right out there in front. If you Google Rizer Hammer Helper, is a single word at .com. It goes through the many uses of the Rizer, and it's a pretty thorough website. But the more we talk about it on the internet, the more it showed up. As I mentioned, Rizer, and Michael also helped me a couple years ago with a radio interview, which gave it a really great kickoff. And we've sold thousands since then, and we're still selling them. But we're now moving into a little bit more updated way of thinking with names, because domain names now, there's so much more you need to consider in these things, like what keywords you're going to use to increase your traffic in name. and
right.
your marketing strategy, right, and all the considerations with marketing strategy, that was so important. It seems like every time I marketed the tool, the sales would go tenfold. And then if I just let it be for a while, they'd drift back.
They do. You've got to always be on it. And, you've mentioned the word a couple of times, the trademark. So a trademark is what you call something. We referred to, Apple computers, iPhones, those are trademarks. Kleenex is a trademark. Everybody thinks of it as something that you use to wipe your nose, but it's actually a trademark, a brand. And so, intellectual property is our topic today, but there's more to intellectual property than just the patent that was filed. The name that you claim as being yours and you register the trademark, you put the TM by it in the early stages till the trademark office says, yes, Mr. Hoback, you get to use this name and claim it as yours so that no one else can use that name in relationship to a hammer.
Yeah, we not only registered the trademark Rizer Hammer Helper, but we also registered the logo of a hammer pulling a nail, which was the letter I in the name in the riser. So actually the logo showed the vision, kind of what the tool did, and we registered that as well. And
that was excellent. It was a great image because people could really then relate to what they were trying to do. The fact that you used Rizer Hammer's Helper, and now you're looking kind of at updating that name a little bit, that branding that you're doing. And what are you thinking of calling it now?
We're not quite sure yet. We're going into cloud-based commerce, and so we're moving up in the world here, and so we're going to be putting to work some specialists that are going to be taking a look at the name as well as rebuilding the domain site and the website itself, and then also our marketing strategy. And we're going to use their advice on this. Right now we're thinking about Hammer Helper, but we're not even entirely sure if we can use that name because it is used in a couple other references.
Yeah.
So, but we want the name to be more, I guess, a description of what the tool does.
Right. Well, I know a really great place where you could advertise, just in case you hadn't thought of it. It's called Invent America. So
yes,
we would just love to have you on there, because that's where people go when they're looking to make a home improvement is to HomeTalkUSA and Invent America. So everybody out there, if you believe that you have got a new idea, get your search done. Reach out to me, shoot me an email. If you need an attorney, call me, email me, and don't forget the National Hardware Show is coming up, and we are looking to get all of our candidates lined up. So again, call me, email me, text me even, and I can get some information back to you. John, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will go ahead and we'll do some more video with you. We'll get it out streaming on all of our platforms. And I hope you just sell a ton of these because they're awesome.
Great, Michael. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to talk about the Rizer Hammer Helper today.
We were glad to have you, and we'll have you back.
You have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.